lot of support for Trinidad and Tobago. Out first is Soraya Chase, 29 years of age. They're coached by Jason Dennis, Trinidad and Tobago. No doubt you'll be sitting watching this, hoping they'll put the game plan together, hoping they'll try to get a few of those process goals going. At the same time, hoping that they can get something done and trying to remain as calm as possible. Felicia Armstrong has come out on score. She's 30 years of age, 1m81. Trinidad and Tobago lost to Cyprus in their opening game, 2-0. It's a bit of a must-win game for them here if they want to really have a chance of going through. However, the two best third-place teams from the tournament will also go through to the quarter-finals, so it's not over if you lose your first two. Big roar for Australia.
Plenty of Australian flags in the crowd for these two world-class teams. Here comes Maria Fea Artacho del Solar, originally from Peru, grew up in New South Wales, now living in Queensland. Husband Jack watching at home, and Taliqua Clancy grew up in Queensland, back in Queensland after a big stint in South Australia. Family and friends, Shelley, Betty, Jocelyn, Robert, Kathleen, they're all watching keenly from their couches back home.
Players are ready, the fans here are ready, wherever you're watching from, whatever you're watching on, you're ready too. We are about to get going.
9, 8, 7, 6.
It's Trinidad and Tobago in red serving. It is Australia in the green. With not so much gold, actually, more green receiving, but not having to receive that one. This Pool B match from the Commonwealth Games, Birmingham 2022. And that's an easy start for Australia. They'll go back to serve now with Clancy. Block, just a continuation block. Oh, that's a little too tight, and they will get the break point to start things off, will Australia.
You can't put the ball that tight to the net with Taliqua Clancy there. She just reaches right over. She actually used to be a defender with Louise Borden, but she's switched to the blocking role. Has had a lot of experience now in both.
Brilliant serve. Clancy means business.
When her serve gets going, the team gets going. Definitely a great way to win points with a big attacking jump serve.
Clancy once more. So far, Maria Fea just standing and watching and enjoying, but now she's going to have to do a little bit of work, I expect, depending on who Trinidad and Tobago want to serve at.
It will be interesting to see if they go after Clancy. Being a taller team, they might want to look to try and get a block on Clancy.
Armstrong with the serve. Testing out Maria Fea. Oh, that is a perfectly placed jumbo pokey.
Artacho del Solar, she's got all the skills in her toolbox. She uses her shots and her power so well, chooses them at the right time.
First serve for Maria Fea. Going after Armstrong. Just about scrambled over. Free swing, that's going to go down. Indeed it does. And Australia now leading 4-1.
Well, that's the power that we see from Maria Fea from the right side. She gets served quite a lot on the tour. She digs a lot of balls in transition.
Oh, good idea. Nearly works. Certainly had Maria Fea scrambling, but it is a point for Australia. We'll have the first side switch. Australia leading by 5.
We see that a lot where the less experienced team, they know what to do. They've seen it done before by the teams that they're playing against. They just haven't had the experience, the practice under pressure, and they'll miss those little shots every now and again.
this chase. And there was a lot of line available, and Clancy letting Maria Fay know that.
So good in the backcourt, Maria Fay. She holds and chases the ball. She's one of the best defenders in the world. She doesn't let anything distract her. She just eagle-eyes that ball and chases it down.
There is a World Beach Pro Tour event that all the top international teams play on. And for Australia, they're coming into this event on a bit of a high, having won the Espinho Challenge event. They were seeded 1, they finished first, took a gold medal, so coming from Europe into Birmingham, and we really fancy their chances of going one better than they did in 2018, no doubt. Oh, big swing.
That one knocking the glasses off the head of Chase or something.
It's one of the...
one of the hairbands?
Yes.
Oh, the wristband.
Oh, it is, yeah.
The watch. Don't need to keep time, really.
No, it's time for that to go to the sidelines now. Hear the groan, the grunt from Clancy. She tries to generate some power into that. That's a really good lead, because that is only millimetres out.
Clancy's well renowned for her big top spin jump serve. She's been working it more and more as she develops as a player. She also has a good little jump float serve. Today it's the top spin.
That one is all about the contact point, isn't it? Why the net ended up getting in the way. A couple of line blocks being signalled. Armstrong, the server, will be going through to block. So Chase will sit in the cross-court angle. What she won't be into. A serve for Armstrong and Trinidad and Tobago.
That's absolutely how they're going to have to make points against Australia. They're such a world-class unit. Look at that ball float away from Clancy to the middle of the court. Just causes that confusion.
They're going to go after Clancy again. A little waggle of the finger to say serve to the right side. Although it's drifted across into Maria Fay. Oh, there was the chase was on, and so close to playing that. It is Australia that take the point. A decent touch, putting an extra little bit of height on it, so there was more time to go after it, but deciding against it for whatever reason. We'll go to the second side switch. And for those of you new to the sport, wondering why they're changing ends, it's because of the conditions. So the teams change ends every 7 points in the first 2 sets, as it's a race to 21. If you go to a decider to 15, they'll change every 5, and it's just so that if the wind's blowing in one direction or the other, or the sun's in one place or the other, both teams get to experience the good and the bad. We have an ace serve. Whilst I was blathering on about the conditions.
Well, the conditions, I think, help that ball drop, because the wind is actually blowing that out on that side of the court.
That one looked like it might be going long, but taking no chances. Free ball here for Australia. Good touch. Oh, and unlucky not to keep it alive. A really good strength from Clancy. She's a long way off the net with that swing.
And she collects it from such a high point and delivers it to the other side.
She does remind me, there's a player indoors, plays one of the best indoor players in the opposite slot in the world, Paola Igonu of Italy, who's just taken a huge transfer deal to go to play for Vakif Bank Istanbul from Conegliano in Italy. And she's one of the highest contacts of the ball I've seen, and certainly Clancy's up there in terms of her contact height, always at the very top of the reach.
As a junior, I remember seeing her. She was always up there, never dropped her hand, even though she's just over 6 foot tall. Maria Fay, her partner, right there with the ball. She's 5'9". She has to use every inch as well. Contacts it high as well.
Except for that one.
It's always the commentator's curse if we talk about the serve or something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The net height, for those who are wondering, is 2 metres and 24. Now that's the only difference between men's and women's volleyball, is the height of the net. The men is 2 metres 43, women's is 224. Everything else is exactly the same. That one has tagged the sideline. Brilliant swing from Teddy Brown.
The Australian duo is so experienced now. They got together in 2017, silver medal, Com Games 2018.
See the blustery conditions we were talking about and how the effect that will have out on court in terms of where you want to be and where serving. Right now it's into the face of Clancy, so she can try and rip that jump serve, which she's done, and got herself an ace as a result.
That is the best place to serve into the wind, from the middle to the middle deep. That one just dropping in front of the players. Terrific top spin.
It's another one that's well past this time. They did touch the block. That's really well played to send it straight back over. Oh, good reactions. That might land in. It will land in as courtesy of a touch as well. Brilliant play from Australia.
Clancy having a bit of a giggle. She had to go all the way out of the court to get the one before here, and then races back into the net. Puts up a good enough block, able to get the deflection, and then Maria Fay, as she does. She knows the court so well. She started playing volleyball at such an early age. Moved out to Australia when she was 11. Sauntered down to the beach at Manly, asked if she could join in with some of the local players. Nita Rocamper, who's sadly passed away now, was one of her first coaches. Included her in everything. I think that's the big point there. When kids come along, the inclusion, being put in the teams, getting to train with the good players.
Yes, and also as well, the kind of practices you put in for the top level players in terms of technique and everything else, you're going to do with your new players, because you want them to learn the right technique early on. You don't want to have to change anything later when they've got bad habits. So that's brilliant to be in that environment from a young age, because you get all the good habits straight away.
Talika was lucky that she was discovered very early on in Queensland and asked to come and join Queensland Academy of Sport. Being already 6 foot tall at an early age, she was targeted pretty early. Had to keep her away from netball and basketball and get her involved in volleyball instead.
Teams back out onto court after the technical timeout. And Australia looking to try and get this one done and dusted pretty quickly if they can. Take this opening set. Nice, good touch. And good comeback. Little collision at the net, but not any interference and no net touch.
Such a solid play from Clancy, pulling off the net there. Really well combined, the two of them. Pass, the set, the hit.
That's a good reaction to keep that in play. It's really tricky when it hit the net like that. Oh, that's just battered away by Clancy. No messing around. It's there to be hit. She's going to hit it.
We have to say to the Australians, they've played so many events on the World Tour. You were talking about Clayton. And the ladies from Trinidad and Tobago, they haven't had anywhere near the experience, so they are just enjoying playing this high-class, high-quality team from Australia right now.
Not only playing on the World Tour, they played at the Olympic Games. They were in the final of the Olympic Games in Japan, missing out to the USA. So they know all about these big competitions and how to prepare from the fact that you get a day off, you play one game a day. And it really helps, it makes a big difference. Unforced error from Australia, so there's a point for Trinidad and Tobago. Armstrong will serve. Nice. Ooh, see how the wind has caught hold of that, and fortunately for Australia took it into the block, but the touch from Clancy managed to make it difficult for Trinidad and Tobago to deal with.
Just getting a bit blustery now. 1 minute you feel there's no wind, and because the wind's kind of circling around a little bit in the stadium, it's not a true wind because of the stands. You get caught out every now and again.
Interesting first pass, but it worked.
Well, that was a great reaction from Soraya Chase, hitting that on two into the corner. She said, I'll get that perfectly positioned.
And that's another thing, isn't it, that Australia have got to be mindful of. They're not going to be getting classic three-touch volleyball here, not what they're used to seeing in terms of what's going on. Anything could be happening. There'll be some improvisation, which will score Trinidad and Tobago points.
You do have to be ready for everything.
She does really well to stay out the net. And her hair touched the net, but that's not a fault in volleyball. So we have set point now for Clancy and Maria Fay. And it will get done first time of asking. Excellent block. Australia take the opening set 21-7.
It was a terrific hard float serve, and then Clancy rushes to the net to block. Good timing to make sure that doesn't come back. So Australia just doing what they need to be doing, doing the good things well. Clancy's had some great serves, a couple of errors. That's one thing that she can tidy up as she heads through this tournament. Just eliminate some of those errors. It just takes the pressure off, especially when you're going point for point against a stronger team.
From Australia's point of view, they won their opening match against Sri Lanka 21-10, 21-12. So a 21-7 start here shows that they're getting better as the tournament's going on. For Trinidad and Tobago, as you mentioned, they're just going to have to get certainly more going from attack.
Absolutely. 13 from 14 successes for Australia, only 1 from 13. And that is the pressure from Clancy at the net, the block. Even if the blocks aren't perfectly positioned, it's the threat that there is a big block there, and you know there's a big block there, and it does put pressure on you as a spiker. These two looking very solid, very calm, very relaxed. Coached by Brad Tutton since the Olympics last year. Brad Tutton taking them on full time, doing a great job with them. These ladies looking to improve on their score from the first set.
That's a good volleyballing family, the Tuttons. Aidan played at Olympic Games. Steve Tutton working for the FIVB.
And Sandy Tutton, I used to play indoor volleyball with.
There you go. Incredible. Second set underway. Australia having taken the first. Trinidad and Tobago now find themselves in a must-win set situation if they want to stay in the match, and that's the way to get it going. Lovely pokey in the corner. First point on the board for Trinidad and Tobago.
And we saw when these two ladies got fired up and got really emotional and celebrated the big points, they went on and they made more and more points. So that's what they need to do, Chase and Armstrong. Really celebrate.
That's well played. That's quite a good Chase and Armstrong. It's quite a Chase on defence, Armstrong at the net. And that's exactly what we've got. Well, this is
born to play beach volleyball.
They certainly were. And so too Australia with what we're seeing from them right now. Clancy with the serve. Good touch, unlucky he didn't come back to where Armstrong could get it back over. What you will hear, the crowd being really respectful and very quiet. You hear that lots of communication coming from both teams on both sides of the net during the rally.
It was unlucky for Armstrong. She had the court wide open, but she put it straight to Maria Fay.
Ace serve, brilliant.
Clancy not serving as hard as she did the other night, but definitely more accuracy there. Loving that middle back court.
Ooh, that's close. Is it worth a challenge? Close. Yes, they can have a look. So, challenge, for those of you wondering.
Challenge.
You can challenge decisions by the referees, not all of them, but you can challenge for a ball in out. Ooh, it might just be out looking at that replay. You can also challenge for a foot fault, a net touch, and a block touch. And you've got as many challenges as you like, as long as you get them right.
The funny thing is, I think Armstrong, on her way back to serve, went and stepped nearer on the ball mark. But that is definitely out. Yeah. Didn't think she meant to do it, but some players would do that just to eliminate any evidence.
Well, you used to have a ball mark protocol, and you could call the referee off the stand to go and have a look. So yeah, if in the ball mark, it'd be a bit tricky.
Good reach from Maria Fay. Going over deep. She definitely strikes the ball at the point where a lot of players around the 6 foot height mark strike the ball.
Well done. Great read from Maria Fay. Good hustle from Trinidad and Tobago. Excellent rally so far. Oh, that's wonderful. The angle was running away from Maria Fay, but she got the ball back in play. And that hard work has paid off as Australia take the point.
Well, that certainly was a mega rally. Trinidad and Tobago had a couple of chances. This one was a great pickup. That was a chance there, but Maria Fay just a dynamo in the backcourt.
Side switch completed. Now it means Australia got the wind at their backs to a degree, so that might just change the way that they're serving a little bit. Well played. Good use on the block.
Again, good thinking from Trinidad and Tobago, hitting that second ball, but just putting it in the middle of the court. They need to take more risk, go to the sidelines, get it out of the way of Maria Fay Tacho del Solar.
Chance here for Maria Fay. Clancy just says, well, that's okay, I can get it done. Switcheroo gets the job done, coming around behind the setter.
Such a great idea to move the blocker along the net, makes them a little bit less stable in their block, and that time working, tooling the hands of Clancy. Much better start for Trinidad and Tobago.
Good lead. They just know the court so well, and you do, don't you? You play long enough, you know when it's in or out.
And there is, in the grey shirt, the green cap, the president of the Australian Olympic Committee, Ian Chesterman, watching the Aussies play, cheering loudly, I hope.
Well, plenty to cheer about at the moment. 9-3 for Australia. Good touch. Just not enough oomph on it to get it back over. A lot of pressure coming, but that ball is moving all over the place in the wind.
Yes, you can see the flags at the top of the stadium are horizontal. The wind is much stronger at the top there, but it's just not consistent down on the court, making it more difficult for that second hit. You can see there.
But you don't want to be doing any sky balls, you know. That could...
Well, you do.
Or maybe, yes.
Yes. You might catch a bit of wind and really throw the ball around.
That would be great to see. Some of the teams have tried it. One of the architects of it, the greatest, is Carambula for Italy. Is known as Mr. Skyball. You can watch him on the World Tour. And he's even done one mid-rally. There was a ball tight to the net. Instead of just digging it out, he just went and hit this Skyball mid-rally. It's just incredible. Right now, it's all going very, very well for Australia. They're staying focused. Trinidad and Tobago having called the timeout. Let's see if they can refocus, get themselves back into it.
Both teams need to just make sure that they don't focus on the score. Trinidad and Tobago don't want to be looking at the score too much. Just need to be thinking about doing the simple things well, the pass, the set, the hit will come. Get that first touch going.
Clancy with the serve. That was tough. You get something like that, you're trying to move after it, suddenly the wind catches it.
Especially if there's a lot of underspin on the ball, so Clancy puts so much heat on that. You need to dig it a little bit and take the pace off the ball, causes a lot of spin, really hard to then play that second touch.
Oh, massive serve that time from Clancy. It went into that corridor of uncertainty, but one thing was certain, no one was getting that.
That's 6 aces now for Taliqua Clancy. Exactly what she's after.
Good lead.
And then runs in and puts pressure on. She's so big on the block. Trinidad and Tobago trying to find the sidelines.
Well, it's unlucky. The opportunity to have a swing, there's no block, but try to get it over the top of the defenders. Almost worked.
And Maria Fay reads it as well. There is a backup.
Decent leave. But work to be done here for Trinidad and Tobago. It all starts from the serving line. Well played. Solid signing out all the way through at the moment for Australia.
Australian fans loving it. Maria Fay just checking the wind direction. You see the players pick up the sand sometimes, throw it in the air just to make sure they know which way the wind is going.
Well played. That left Maria Fay rooted to the sand.
It's a great pass and a good set too. Saw the movement. Good court vision.
Lovely set. Oh, what a swing that is. Right into the hitting window.
And that is classic Australian beach volleyball right now. The pass purposely sent over to the left so Clancy can have a swing if she wants. If not, she'll set it all the way out to the antenna for Maria Fay and she will belt that down the line.
It's funny because when you kind of started the game and you're telling way back when we played, goodness, you wouldn't do that because you kind of military marching your way up the court. And we was all like, no, you don't do that. You don't go real straight. You keep it from a base triangle, you pass to the middle, and then you go and you run on a straight line and hit. But now the game's just got so much more advanced.
I think the key there too, Clayton, is that when you start playing beach volleyball, you need to keep it really tight. You need to get that control first before you start to do all these fancy things. And these two have played for so long. They're so skilled, so accurate now in their game that they can afford to try different things. And that's what's made them one of the top teams in the world. And a lot of other teams, and especially in Australia as well, are trying to emulate that, but they're not quite there yet with their skill to be able to do it like these two do.
It's the same scoreline at the last technical timeout. Australia now just 5 away from being able to leave the court with a 2-0 victory. Keeping it simple, line blocks being signalled. Nice touch, that's always tricky like that, hits the net. It will be an ace serve as far as the stats are concerned.
Get ready, please.
Chance here for Australia. And some heat coming from Maria Fay. And some real oohs from the crowd enjoying that one.
Well, Maria Fay just seems to be standing in the right space all the time. You think maybe that's luck, but no, she knows the game so well. And Clancy gives her a fantastic serve. She goes back for another serve. She's a proud Woolly and Goreng woman. First Indigenous female to represent Australia in volleyball.
Yes, it's something that's close to her heart, actually, representing the two nations. And at times, I'm not sure we're about to see it, but she has the Aboriginal flag on her nails, which is just awesome. I'm not sure if she's got them on for today's game. Good leave. So just a couple more points required for Australia. Just checking it into who's going to serve. So it'll be Maria Fay. Oh, good serve as well, right down the middle. And it's now match ball for Australia. Can they get it done? First time of asking. Yes, they can. Maria Fay off the block and away. Wrapping up the sets, 21-6 and the match by 2-0.
World-class performance from the Aussie team today. I think from memory maybe one unforced error, apart from the service, but one unforced error in their attack. It's really putting them in a good position. They'd be happy with that performance. Clancy with 7 aces.
It puts them through to the quarterfinals with 1 game to play against Cyprus in a couple of days' time. It'll be a battle between Cyprus and Australia for the top spot. And there's confirmation of your scores: 21-7, 21-6. Good day at the office for Australia.
See there the statistics: 4 from 25 successful. Trinidad and Tobago just not good enough there. 80 kilometres per hour for Clancy's serve. That's a big serve. Lots of digs. 12 versus 2. Maria Fay in the backcourt. She rarely lets anything drop without an effort. Fantastic to watch.